Welcome back to the Soils-245 news channel. I'm Braden Osborne, your anchor for today's news show. Today we are going to be investigating the disappearance of a Yellowstone Club member who is believed to be buried in one of the three soils that we'll cover today. The suspect, as shown here, has plenty of knowledge surrounding soils, and so we believe he would bury the body in whichever soil is best suited to burying a body. Now, the three soils we'll be talking about today is the Gogebic series out of Michigan, we have the Rodeo series from California, and finally we have the Quasar series from Colorado. Next, we're going to send it over to Cami to give us some general knowledge on these soils and the locations and weather surrounding them.
Thank you, Braden, for that update. I'm Cami, and I'll give you the weather report for today on our three favorite soils. So first off, we have the Soil series, which is the Rodeo series, which is off the coast in California in the Bay Area in San Francisco by the Golden Gate Bridge over here. This series seems to have a lot of water from the winter rain and with a surplus in the winter and dry summers. And now we have the next soil series, which is going to be Quasar series in the west Rockies in Colorado, up in this vicinity. And these tend to have a deficit of water because of the cold winters and snow runoff, making it more surplus of water during the summers. And lastly, we have the Gogebic series, which is going to be up by the lakes in Michigan, more specifically by Lake Superior. And this series is in the northwest region of the U.S., obviously, with a surplus year-round of higher rain in the summers. And that is all I have for you on the soils. So back to you, Braden.
Thanks, Cami, for that weather report. It's going to be interesting to see how the water might affect the decomposition rates of that soil and if our suspect is going to take that into account. Next up is our field reporter, Miles, coming to us from all three locations to talk to us about the different horizons and the characteristics that can be seen in these 3 miles. Soils. Take it away, Miles.
Thanks, Braden, for that. Here we are in sunny San Francisco. We're looking at the Rodeo series today. This soil is a mix of A and B horizons. And throughout, there's no rocks, and it's a soft clay all throughout the whole soil. So we're thinking this would be an easy soil to dig a grave in, but being in the Bay Area, we might have a lot of eyes on this soil, so it may not be a good spot for Tony to bury that. All right, here we are in Colorado, up in the mountains, as you can see. And this soil, the Quasar series, consists of an A, B, and then C horizon. However, this soil is very rocky and is typically on pretty steep slopes, so it might be hard to bury a body in this soil. All right, finally we find ourselves in Gogebic County, Michigan, where we're looking at the Gogebic series. So this series is a very deep soil. It's mostly loose sandy loam, so it might be easier to dig through until we get about 2 meters down, and then we find a massive layer. And so we're thinking that with how easy it would be to dig in this soil and how secluded we are out here in the woods, this may be where Tony buried this body.
Big thanks to Miles for doing all that hard work out in the field. And all of these soils each have their own benefits for burying a body, but we think that the best one would probably be the Gogebic series due to its isolated area, the low rock content, and the sandy, loamy texture, making it fairly easy to dig into, and just the overall deepness of it, making sure that body might never be found. But we will make sure to keep you guys updated more on this story as it develops.